Hey guys, welcome back to another round of the TV Tray sessions here at Guitar Talk with Todd at toddbeebemusic. Thank you guys so much for checking in and joining me today. You know I appreciate it. Please hit that subscribe button in the lower right hand corner. Help me get my numbers up. And thank you so much to all of you who have done that and are on board with me. You know I love you guys and appreciate each and every one of you, so thank you so much. As always, we are powered by Death Wish Coffee, Valhalla Java, once again in our Darth Vader mug here today. So grab a cup and join us. Today we are talking all about guitar picks. A few of you have written in and asked what I use, so I wanted to just kind of come on and talk about that for a minute. Guitar picks are like the most, I'd say, besides strings and the instrument itself, are the most, personal thing. I mean, I have a bunch of students, as many of you know. I teach as well, all during the weeks. I have quite a bit of, students, private lesson students that I teach. And the first thing I always say to them when they start is that you can't really just say you must use this kind of pick. You just can't say that. Everybody is different. What I do when I do start a brand new student is just start them, a classic method is just give them a medium shape pick, 351, which is what Fender calls their standard shape pick, and that's kind of the industry standard, of course, that teardrop shape as I drop them. But I just usually give them a medium pick to start with, and I usually tell them to get, or I give them a super thin one and a super thick one, but start with the medium. And then I tell them once in a while at home when they're playing stuff, just grab one of the other picks, the thinner one, the thicker one, the medium one, and just kind of try them out and see what kind of feels right to you. Because it's such a personal thing, you just can't say you must use this kind of pick. Me personally, I love thick picks, but I've learned a while ago, not crazy thick. When I, first started using heavy picks, these were like as thick as you could pretty much find. But I know now I've seen some that are even like looks like the bottom of a Clorox bottle or something. They stamped it out in it. If it gets super crazy thick like that, I just can't do. I need a little bit of bendability in the pick, but yet not much. I want it really thick too. But so real quick, what I'm using. Let's start out with acoustic guitar. No, I take that back. Let's start out with electric. Again, I've always liked thick picks. Years ago, I narrowed it down. I tried every and any pick that's out there, believe me, the different shapes and everything. So a standard, again, what Fender would list as a 351 standard shape pick, the teardrop style. In there, what they call classic celluloid picks, and these are made in different types, of course, but black, as it says on the package, shell, confetti, and white. And I even can notice a difference in the texture and the feel of the different material. So in other words, if I have a classic celluloid black or a classic celluloid white, I can feel that difference. These two are pretty much the same or as close as they can be to one another, but I do notice the difference. Like the confetti in that, I don't like playing those. They feel a little bit different, but again, that's just me. And I'm sure a lot of it's psychological, but whatever. I've narrowed it down to these two. Actually, I've narrowed it down to this one. The black is my favorite in the classic celluloid, extra heavy, which I'm going to put the gauge up there for Fender. They've got a gauge chart that I think it's 1.15, and higher is what they call the extra heavy. So that's what this would be. And The reason I say I've narrowed it down to 2, and you can look this up online, I almost found it hard to believe at first, but these have like what they call a crayon effect. And you have to really get crazy with it, but live, if any of you have seen me play, my right hand tends to really get going crazy. If I'm playing, say, like a 58 reissue Les Paul, I use a lot live, and it's got the cream colored pickup rings on it. Well, I was starting to notice on some nights where I would just be slamming this pick all around, that on the pick guard and even on the, pickup rings, I was getting like a black crayon effect, like just black marks. I'll see if I can put some pictures up of some that I've taken after some gigs that I've done. And it does come off. I've used like the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and certain polishes and cleaners get them off, but it's kind of a pain, and sometimes it almost doesn't come off. You're sitting there like scratching up. This is crazy, to get this off. So ding, 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 the light bulb went on years back. If I have a guitar I'm using with black pickup mounts on it, like I use a black Les Paul Custom 2 live a lot, and that has black pickup rings on it, so I will go with the black pick, and that's fine. If I'm using a cream colored or whatever, then I go with the white. So I really have 2 different kinds I use, but ultimately they're the same pick, even though, like I said, I can feel a little bit of a difference on them. So those are the classic celluloid Fender 351 shapes, extra heavy, which, like I said, according to the Fender chart, is about 1.15 with the measurement there. And like I said, I just love that pick, but ultimately I use 2 different kinds, really based on what pickup mounts, I've got on the guitar, pick guard even, just so it doesn't wear off. Like I said, it's kind of hard to believe, and you got to really hit it. I know some people I've talked to and are like, picks don't do that. Most of them don't, but celluloid does, especially Fender celluloid, but I love Fender picks, so for electric. Okay, so getting into acoustic, like I said, this pick was it for me, and for years I used the black Fender pick on, usually I'm playing a Martin, sometimes a Gibson J45, but on an acoustic, you're wide open, there's no pickup mounts around, nothing's there, you're pretty much just strumming, and you got the sound hole. So I wasn't worried about it hitting anything. Used these for years. The other reason I like them, they do give. What I mean by that is like, eventually you kind of, the edge sort of files down, worn off by the string. I like that, but ultimately that's what does the pick in, and you start to feel that sort of, grabbing the edge of the string as you pick, and it's got like a rough feel, and then that's when the pick's done for me. So I go through quite a few picks live. But anyway, because of that, playing acoustic, that shredding effect, that was going on, a couple of years went by, never even really dawned on me or anything. So one day I was changing my strings, and I was in a really well-lit area, and I'm looking down inside the sound hole, and I'm like, what the heck is all that? It looked like almost like ashes in the inside of my guitar body. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what is that? And then I finally figured it out. It was the shredded pieces of the pick had gone inside the sound hole. This had taken a while to build up, but I was like, wow. So really not a big deal, but if you've got electronics in there and stuff, you just don't, I'm not crazy about anything going inside the sound hole of my guitar. I mean, why would you? That being said, is it that big of a deal? No, it's such a slow process, and I guess if you probably dumped it out every once in a while or something, it's really not that big of a deal. But I just started thinking, all right, what else can I find where I don't even have to worry about this? So Jim Dunlop, who just everything Dunlop makes is excellent. I use Dunlop slides, Dunlop mic stand, pick holder and slide holder. So many Dunlop things I use. I mean, they're just love Jim Dunlop stuff. Obviously, their pedals and stuff. Great company. But so anyway, they put out the Dunlop Tortex. And these are like a color-coded thing. So I use the purple ones, and the specific reason why. These are 1.14. And like I said, I believe, according to Fender's measurement chart, 1.15 starts in on the extra heavy of the black, on the classic celluloid. So they're about the same thickness, but Tortex doesn't shred. It does wear, takes a lot longer than celluloid does. So usually, if I'm doing a 3-4 hour show, acoustic, a lot of times I don't even take a break. Pretty much one pick for the night gets me through. Tortex don't wear out and shred anywhere near celluloid does. I'll go through quite a few celluloid picks on an electric guitar, but one Tortex pick for the night pretty much gets me through. The purple ones with the turtle on the front, the purple turtle, and those are my favorite, and for that specific reason. If this thing didn't shred like it did, I would use these black Fenders when I'm playing acoustic too. I just... because of the shredding and all that and going into the sound hole. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it happens. Believe me, I've seen it firsthand. So for that reason, I use the purple Tortex from Dunlop, and they don't shred, and they just have a great feel. Again, they're just a little bit bendy, but they're very stiff, but not, if they're to the point where they're so stiff I can't even bend it, then I don't want that. So I've settled on these, and believe me, again, I've tried everything. So those are my big three: the purple Dunlop Tortex 1.14 for any acoustic guitar shows I'm doing, and then the Fender Extra Heavy 351 shape in the classic celluloid from Fender Extra Heavies, and the white for when I'm doing cream pickup mounts, and black for when I'm doing black pickup mounts, just so I don't get that crayon effect on anything, which I know sounds crazy, but I'll try to throw some shots up. I know I've taken pictures after gigs of some of that before I've cleaned it up, so it does happen with celluloid picks. You got to get pretty aggressive and crazy, but a lot of times I do with my right hand live. But so those are the big three that I'm using. There's all kinds of, obviously, pick shapes out there, triangles, and super thick, super thin. Again, it's such a personal thing, you can't really say. I know Eddie Van Halen, I've actually seen one of his picks firsthand from one of his techs years back, and it was like a piece of paper. It was probably like the thinnest pick I had seen at that time, just like paper thin. And look how powerful Eddie played. So, I mean, he had a whole other thing. You would see his wrist go like that and stuff a lot. And I think it like bent over the strings more to get that kind of effect for him. I can't play that way. Mine, when I'm doing fast stuff, it's more like a from the forearm thing, and I need just rock solid, stiff, nothing bending. Everybody's got their style too. Like Yngwie Malmsteen, I know, has said he likes thick picks like I do, because he doesn't like that nothing should be bending there going across the string. I feel the same way about that. But again, then Eddie Van Halen used paper thin, so I disagree with any teacher that just comes right out of the gate saying, you must use this pick. I don't tell any of my students that. I give them a medium, because that's just middle of the road to get them started. But then I also get them, or tell them, to get a thin one and a thicker one And as you start playing a little bit with that medium, start grabbing those other picks and just seeing how it kind of feels to you. And as you play more and play more and play more and try them out, you're going to warm up to a certain kind. And that's how you kind of want to do that. Because picks make a huge difference, obviously, even in the tone. You know, try strumming your strings with a real thin pick, and then try strumming them with a real thin pick. Same settings, even if you're playing electric or whatever, and the tone is like night and day. So picks make a huge difference. So anyways, you guys, hope you enjoyed that. Chime in. That's what this is all about. Please comment below. Let me know what picks you guys are using right now. Do you like the Tortex picks from Dunlop? Fender picks? Are you using something else? I know Daddario makes some great picks. Gibson makes great picks. There's so many out there. There's just tons of them. You know, the gravity picks, I believe there are now that are like out there, and some of those are really thick, and there's just a ton of them. So let me know what you guys are using and comment. Once again, please hit that subscribe button in the lower right hand corner. You know, I appreciate that. Help me get my numbers up. And thank you once again to all of you that have done that so far and are on board with me. A special thanks, as always, to Death Wish Coffee, Valhalla Java, and our Darth Vader Expressions mug once again. Great stuff. We love our Death Wish Coffee. Find me on Facebook, you guys, at toddbeebemusic. And we will see you guys again. Thank you so much for being on board with us. Stay safe and love your dogs. Take care.